Pursuant to the Mass notice is hereby given of the meeting of the Fall River Redevelopment Authority as follows: Wednesday, February 28, 2024, City Hall Council hearing room. The meeting is open to the public to attend in person above reference date, time and location. A recording of the open session can be viewed at Fall River Government Television, www.frgtv.us. Recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recording and transmission are being made whether perceived or unperceived by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. First item is a roll call. It's John Erickson.
Louis Gonzalez.
Joan Medeiros.
Ron Rusin.
Dan Keene.
Also attending are Sarah Page, our Executive Director, John Coughlin, Counsel, Ken Fiola, Administrative Service Consultant. Minutes from January 24th, 2024. Anybody have any questions or comments on those ones?
Motion's moved.
Second?
Second.
John Erickson, yes.
Louis Gonzalez, yes.
Joan Medeiros, yes.
Ron Rusin, yes.
Dan Keene, yes.
Thank you. Next item is the approval of the warrant, which you all have. Total of $38,169.14. Any questions on those? No.
Motion to move the warrant forward.
Second?
Second.
John Erickson, yes.
Louis Gonzalez, yes.
Joan Medeiros, yes.
Ron Rusin, yes.
Dan Keene, yes.
Okay. Next item is election of officers. Sarah, do you need to say anything?
Yeah, we just thought I would say that tonight, and we usually nominate a slate of officers and vote on the slate, and Louis is going to make a motion.
No. Entertain a motion to nominate the following stated candidates for the noted board positions: Chair John Erickson, Vice Chair Ann Keene, Treasurer Joan Medeiros, ex officio Secretary Sarah Page as Executive.
Second? Yeah. Did somebody second?
You did.
Ron second.
I
Sorry.
moved it.
You said-
John Erickson, yes.
Oh, he made the motion.
Yeah.
Louis
Then I
Gonzalez.
seconded it.
Yeah.
You second.
Since you're the board of officers, it's probably good you didn't
Yeah.
second it.
John Erickson, yes.
Louis Gonzalez, yes.
Joan Medeiros, yes.
Ron Rusin, yes.
Dan Keene, yes.
Thank you. City Pier is the next item. Karen's going to give us an update.
Yes. The docks. I did give you all a little map with A, B, C, D locations on it. So some of the things I'm going to talk about, you'll be able to kind of locate and figure out. So I spoke earlier, I think it was either in the December or the January meeting, that our insurance company did a site inspection, and they made two findings that we needed to comply with before we reopen the docks in the spring, which was no swimming signs and fire extinguishers along the dock for the boats. So I have proceeded with getting pricing on signs from the Department of Correction. They actually make some lovely signs, and the signage, it's going to be pretty similar to that no fishing sign that we did on the pier. It'll say no swimming, surveillance cameras in use, and then we're going to do a couple no fishing and then we'll have the Shepherd Group that we have the labor unit price contract. They'll just install them. So that's going to be roughly altogether around $500. You can actually locate them on that picture. But the fire extinguisher cabinets will be wrapped around the piles, and they can actually stay out year-round. We just have to put a new tag on them annually. And the new tag annually is going to be roughly $150 for to go out and re-tag them all. and, do that, so that's pretty nominal money. The other thing that we talked about was getting, information kiosks out on City Pier. For the docks, we were gonna put one, if you see spot C on the, that little map that I did, that's probably, it's gonna be to the right of the gate, and looking at some of the signs that are, that we wanna do for dock management and, boating information, we were thinking of doing like it's gonna be 4x8, it'll be on 2 posts with a little roof over it, with a glass front, it's gonna have it'll be like a plexiglass front, so that we wouldn't be breaking glass, with a lock on it so we can update it and change signage as needed. And, the other one is located in spot A, and it's going to be more up on the City Pier property as people are walking around, and it will talk about the events, maybe some other stuff that's going on in the city that they would wanna know about, and our rules and regulations for the pier. And that's gonna be more of a 4x4, smaller, same thing, 2 posts in the ground with a, like a shingle roof, like a little roof over it. And I reached out to, a Diamond to see if they could work with us on it, but they were already booked up for their school year. So I reached out to Nicole at, Youth Build, and Youth Build can build them for us. The only thing that we need to do is cover the cost of supplies. And, so now that I've kind of figured out what we're gonna need for signage and, things like that, I can get that to her, and we can work on the supply list, and they're good to go to have them installed, roughly April timeframe we were talking about, once the ground's all softened up and just as we're getting ready to open everything out there. So, not quite sure what the materials are gonna cost, but, I can't imagine, based on everything here, I'm gonna be, as I talk about in more detail, we're gonna kinda have like a lump sum basket of money for you to approve that we can just draw from as we take out these little piddly things. We also need a new trash receptacle for the docks, which, I was gonna be putting in, location B, and that trash receptacle will be, to match the other ones, that are up on City Pier. And, I still need to hear back from, the city if they'll include that when they pick up the rest of the trash barrels. I don't think it's going to be a big issue. It's one more barrel right on the same property, but, you should ask first, I guess. And then and that's gonna be roughly, the ones that we got at City Pier were $800 each plus shipping, so I'm not quite sure what the shipping is gonna be. I haven't had a quote back on that yet. So I just roughly ballparked $1,000. The other thing that we had talked about putting out there for the season, and we would supplement, as there are events out there, is, a porta-john. I got some really competitive pricing from the Throne Depot, and I was thinking we could get one handicap unit to put out along the fence line by where the docks is. I have that as an item D, and we were gonna put a handicap unit out there, and I was gonna chain it to the fence. He's gonna come weekly to clean it, and if we see we're having trouble with it or it's a problem, we can always remove it, but it's been something that people who've been out there have been asking for, is to have some type of a potential restroom. So, it may be worth It's $130 a month. It's not a massive investment. And he gave us some competitive pricing to add, some, just regular units as we have events out there. So, the city will cover, the, price for the events that they're sponsoring, but the events that we're gonna sponsor, we'd have to bring some out there. And I'll go into that as we go into the events, details too. So, and then the last thing that we've thrown out there and we've talked a lot about, and we've been able to have a couple of meetings now since our last meeting with the harbor master, the city, and the, Captain Furtado from Special Forces about the harbor master and, his role, with the city, the docks and everything. And one of the things that, we discussed, and I think could be a really valuable and good idea for us to do is to have him, his boat now is over at Warden Marina, and they'd like to move it from there. And we had talked with him about having it moored on the new docks. And I think it could really help with added protection for the dock area itself, and having his presence be there, especially during the boating season. I mean, obviously right now, and once we close it off with the docks, with the gangway being pulled up, it won't be as much of an issue, but he will still be there and will be able to access it as needed. And the only thing that we do need to do is provide him with electrical power to plug the boat in. And I was working with, I've got some electrical pricing and some trenching pricing, and that endeavor would be roughly $12,000, $12,500. With the dock people too, with the pedestal and everything that would go on there for the electrical. So I think that for the things that we've just talked about, there'd roughly be an ask of $25,000 to do those updates or upgrades to the dock property in preparation for boating season. And the other thing that the harbor master is going to do too is he's going to put buoys out around, oh, I didn't bring a good picture of it, at the end of the North Pier, you know, that little spit of land that sticks out there that is, you know, it seems more impressive depending on how the high and low. With some depth information so boaters can get around that easy enough. And he actually is going to move City Pier kind of on the open floor plan over at State Pier. He has a whole locked area over there that he keeps all of his and the harbor equipment that he needs for his boats and the operation of the ramp and stuff like that. And he says there's plenty of room and he can move that in there, so we'll have a much more protected place for our spare parts, because there's, you know, chain falls, things that many boaters might like and need in a flash that might randomly disappear. I don't know, it's just nerve-wracking that it's in the wide open spot even though it's protected. So those are the that's the overall information on the upgrades for the dock part. Any questions? Yes, Ron?
3 questions.
Yes.
Where are the fire extinguishers going to be put? Are they going to be open to the public and just?
They're in a cabinet. They'll be in a cabinet.
All right.
And they'll be in a cabinet, and the cabinet will be unlocked and you can pull from them. But so
I'm saying for the public, if a kid goes in, just can he open up and just shoot it out anywhere he wants to shoot it out?
Yep.
Yep.
That's scary.
Well,
It
there's-
is.
You know,
Yeah.
the whole point. Boat is on fire.
So why wouldn't we put it more towards on the dock where the fire might happen with?
Oh, that's where they're gonna be, along the piles on the dock.
Oh, so not gonna be on the pier itself?
No, they're gonna be
Okay, all
along
right,
the
all right,
piles.
okay,
I think
yeah.
it's every,
So
they
when
have to be,
when the dock's up, they can't get down there?
right,
Okay.
so,
But the dock's gonna be open all the time, right?
Well, not in the winter.
Yeah.
To the
yeah.
dock.
And they're gonna be like I think it's every 75 feet they have to be.
Is the Porta John only gonna be there during events? Or is it gonna be
No,
there
it's gonna
full-time?
be there for the summer season. I had it, I think.
Well, the question with that was, is that the best place to put the porta
Yeah,
john?
it's, I don't know.
The only reason I was putting it right there, it's near a light. The light pole that's along the boardwalk there. And I just didn't want it up on the city pier proper, but if you guys have a better spot for it, I'm game.
Well, why do we need one?
Well, it's just been a big request, and I think
But
depending,
shouldn't the city be opening up their bathroom facility at Bicentennial?
Well, they should be, but we're having enough events. An incredible price for leaving it there
Yeah, if you bring them in for events, it's gonna cost you way more money than that, $130 a month.
Right, but first of all, you're putting it against a chain, I'm not sure from a perception standpoint.
How about in the parking lot?
You got a beautiful pier,
Yeah,
and you got a
the
porta
vi-
john.
the
Secondly,
visually,
for
that's not a good
handicap
spot.
access, you're gonna be wheeling people across the
Well, the
grass.
dimension, it's not, so when I dimensioned it out, it'd be just a short run.
Can get a wheelchair in it.
Yeah,
I'm not
'cause
saying, but how about the access to it?
so it'll come out, I think it's
So you're thinking it's going on some grass?
it's,
Yeah.
it's 6 and a,
Right.
it's,
So-
so the depth of the unit is 86 and a half inches, so that is, it's gonna come, yeah, so it's gonna come pretty close to the edge of that walkway as
It's
it
even
is.
bigger than I thought.
It's just been something that's been asked a lot whenever I have been out on the pier, and some of the people, like, that we have on the events committee, people have asked them about it too. And it's just to try it, but if trying to bring all options to the table.
Do we lock it at night?
That's my only thing, location and
We can lock
accessibility.
we can lock it at night, yes.
Well, who's gonna be responsible?
Yeah, so then who's gonna unlock it, that's the
Yeah,
problem,
that's-
but.
Yeah, lock it.
The harbor master.
Well, the harbor master can do a certain amount of stuff, but, depending on,
I would, if you wanna do so, if you wanna incur the expense of a porta john, I'd put it at Bicentennial Park, as opposed to putting it on a premier piece of property, having it there.
Whereabouts on that?
Near the tennis courts or
Bicentennial?
something like that.
yeah, I get no say on
There's nothing over
Bicentennial
there
Park.
now.
There was a porta john there, but now I think the city.
Well, they have bathrooms, but they're not always open
Right,
either.
I'm saying, but that would be a better place for a porta john.
We have a lot of businesses closing their restrooms because they don't want somebody going in and shooting up.
Yeah.
That would be a perfect location. The last thing we need is somebody open up there and somebody's dead inside
The
there.
other thing that we
Came
could
up.
do is you can put a combination padlock on.
Yeah.
Combination padlock, and we could end up, obviously the harbor master would have the combination, and a few people would have the combination, and if we were out there, or it was an event, we could tell people what that combination is
How
too, we
about-
could do that.
How about this though? Isn't there some sort of Wi-Fi here for the cameras
Yeah.
on this pier?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Can't we put a lock that we can unlock Wi-Fi?
Well, so that's potentially what we've got on the
The gate?
gate, which has, yet to be put into full function for a variety of reasons. Meaning, I think the lock has been frozen every time I've tried to play around with it, and I've gotta get the city to get the software on our laptop, because you need the laptop to bring down there to get it into.
To program it?
To program it, yes.
The city.
But you can just, if you bring your laptop, you can just jump off your phone?
Once I get the whole thing set up and ready to program, I can get it onto my phone too, yes.
No, I'm saying if you bring your laptop
Right,
and you bring your phone, just like I'm using right now,
yeah.
can't you just bring your laptop and the
But
phone?
I have to get the software off of a thumb drive onto, I don't have permission to put software on city computers.
Why would it be on a city computer?
Well, that's what we have for equipment. We go through the city for our IT.
I get that, but why don't
Why do
the
you-
city's
You
IT
can
person go do
You
it?
can buy a laptop separate from that.
We could, yes.
Why don't the city's IT person go do it?
We could have.
I don't think you
Well,
wanna be on
they
the
could,
city's.
I've attempted this once, and since I couldn't even get the lock to go into programming, so that has not been given up, but that's for the gate to the docks, nothing to do with the porta chop.
Right, but we just want everything to work that way, right? When in 2020. I can change the heat. and-
Oh, so you're saying I don't think I can put that kind of a lock on the porta john,
Why not?
because it's a built-in kind of thing, it's not like a little, we don't own holes that you put a padlock through. I have not looked in to see if you can get one like that
We
that
just
would do
gotta
that.
ask him.
Yeah, I can ask.
We ask if we can put that kind of lock on there.
He doesn't
And-
care, he doesn't care what. Is those, it's got the holes for the padlock, so you'd have to see if you can get a programmable padlock, a Wi-Fi enabled padlock.
Right, but maybe we can switch the lock on the porta john. Cause the biggest concern is, like what Ron said,
Right.
God forbid something happens, but I'm sure there's a way that we can put the same type of locks that we have on our house or something of that sort, right? Cause there's different kind of locks that we have on
Yeah.
our house,
Yeah.
on that porta john, and then once we have the system, we can unlock the gate, we can unlock the porta john, the cameras will all be on, everything will just be in one system on it.
Well, it won't be on one, so the cameras will be on their
But
own.
you know,
Yeah, yeah, no, I get what you
whatever
mean.
Wi-Fi system
Yeah,
controls
yeah,
that, it's a
yeah.
network,
Yeah.
and then it just goes on there, and then we
I
don't have
think
to worry
the
about it.
real question though is, do you want a
Do we want a porta
porta
john? Yeah, do we really
I don't,
want?
I think a porta john's a good idea, I understand what he's saying.
I would put it at Bicentennial Park.
I
Is
just
it
think that that's
orange or
a far
blue?
distance.
What?
Is it orange or blue, the big ones?
The Throne Depot ones are orange.
Oh, they got painted
Oh,
blue.
they're orange?
That's,
The
and that's an
Throne
eyesore.
Depots are orange.
I would put it, you know, if it's such, and I understand it, you know, because people need to go to the bathroom to relieve themselves, but I would try to maybe can make a contribution to the city and put it on the Bicentennial Park where it's less egregious in terms of,
But who would we have to clear that one?
the city had one, so they're used to having one there, so it's probably the park department or talk to Seth. They used to have one up
Is
there.
it
It's
near
not
the-
gonna be convenient for boaters, though.
But these are, boaters are transient boaters, these, you know.
Is it by
Well, I still have to go
where
to the
the,
bathroom.
Yeah, but the whole point is to get off and go to the restaurants, right?
Oh.
The fire department's making us, the insurance company's making us put on. I've never seen a marina with fire extinguishers.
Right. Maybe the harbor master should have them, but.
Well, or usually the boats themselves.
The boats,
have-
depending on the
boats
size of the
have-
Boats
boat,
have-
is
yeah.
supposed to have them.
Every boat has a
But
fire
I called the fire department and they also want them, so it's, I think it could be
It's a
potentially because it's not
Huh?
It's
a,
a requirement,
I'm not sure about that. Well,
Does Border
maybe
Marina
it
have,
is.
is there a requirement of Border Marina?
I haven't seen them.
That's a
I've
private-
never seen any marina have fire extinguishers on
but that's a
their
private monitored property. This is not,
Well, this is even worse because if we can't.
which is
anybody
why they
can-
probably want the fire extinguishers.
No, it's worse because for vandalism, people can go out there.
People can just take one of
take
those.
one. It's,
but I think we were told we had to do it though.
there's gotta be a better way. I'm not sure.
I mean, I will bring it back to, insurance company. I mean, I think the problem is that insurance companies are, not so amenable to insuring things these days. And, if we're going to fight them on this, maybe, it might not be in our best interest. We could try and see if we have an issue and tell
How
them
many- you
that's
gotta put
it.
one on every.
I think it's every 75.
Just because they're making us put that.
Could be.
And what if, you know, what if they
I will,
vandalize the place with that?
Did
I'll,
they say it was a condition to coverage, or was it like a strong
It was based on their,
recommendation?
it's a condition of coverage based on their site visit, that and the no swimming signs.
One
And
last
then-
question, Karen. On the harbor master boat being down there,
Yeah,
what if he gets like a 2 o'clock call in the morning, somebody jumping on a bridge, he has to get to his boat? How does he get to that ramp if it's gonna be up, can he put it down himself?
well, it'll be down, it'll be
It's only up
down,
in
It's not in the winter.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what if tomorrow somebody jumps off the bridge and he needs to get to his boat? If that ramps up, how does he get to his boat?
well, so we would have to, so, once we see how the whole thing goes, then we'll probably have to, the lock will be all the more important in the off-season.
But we'll need to leave the
And
gangway
then-
down in the winter.
With the
if
lock.
For a
he-
harbor
Well,
master,
except
yeah.
he'll have to be, you have to still pull it for storms and things
Yeah,
like that,
right.
storms and,
Well,
The other thing, and I think it's.
But he can do that himself.
I
He
think
he
it's
will
good.
open it for us.
I think it's good to have the harbor master vote there, but we need to be indemnified.
Yes, the
Right.
city, yeah, I
Only
think,
because if there's gonna be 24 city target.
Yeah, can't we use
well,
one
the
of
thing
those
is too, that it
agreements
can
that they sign
lock,
saying we give
the
them the right,
gate,
yeah.
the gate can currently lock. And we have a key to override that, so he's got that.
But I think what Ken's saying is similar to what we've done, we just do like a license agreement,
Right.
saying
Yeah.
you can use this
Right.
dock and they indemnify and.
Right, yeah.
I'm sure we can get that.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
that was not, that
And
was
they-
not gonna be a
and
problem.
They should be paying a little bit of the 28,000.
Right, so we've asked about
It's
that.
not, it's not 28,000.
What'd you say, 12,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be paying some of that, right?
Well, I reached out to Captain Furtado and she
Yeah.
was gonna get back to me.
And how big's that gate with the locks on? Can you just jump over that? Now we have the
Mhm.
harbor master there, if you just jump over it,
Well,
we're
see,
gonna
I
have a
don't
lock.
think you can't jump over
Yeah,
there.
that's the problem.
Oh, sure you can.
You can?
Oh, God,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I think it's only 4 feet tall.
Yeah. Well, no,
Well-
it goes
Yeah,
up.
it's up.
It's up and then it comes down, it tapers, then goes over, but you can get over.
Well, you were saying you can get over the fence next to it, right?
No, you can get over that
You can
fence.
swim to it.
Right,
You
the
can,
fence,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm saying, if
You
if
can-
kids
you
go
can
down there,
definitely
they
do
want to
that.
steal the harbor master's boat, and they can just get in there, because that's down all
Well,
the
they
time.
can do that now, when
Yeah.
he's over at, Borden, they can do that now.
No, he's on a private dock.
He's on a private dock, but you can still jump the fence over there.
No, you can't. Can't get on those private docks, you gotta go through a.
Well, they
through a
brought it
gate.
up.
Yeah.
If there's a will, there's a way.
It's
I'm
their
gonna go with
company.
that.
If the will gets going, that's
If
his
there's a
problem.
will, there's a
But we'll
way.
get the city to indemnify it.
Yeah, at a minimum.
My thing is back to the restroom,
Yep,
if we do put it at Bicentennial, then there needs to be signage letting people know that there's a restroom available.
yeah, that won't be, that won't be,
She has the kiosks to put signage up.
yeah, so
You
that
know what
won't
I
be a
mean?
problem, yeah, that won't be a
So-
problem.
So
But-
you're suggesting that we get porta potties for all of our events, so that we'll have to order them and get separate ones, and then we're having one over at,
Well,
Bicentennial?
so I thought that the city brings down its portable porta
yeah,
potty.
everybody hates that thing.
Well, but I know everybody may hate it, but it serves its purpose, as opposed to
But the
going
city
to
owns
incurring
one, maybe,
costs.
Okay, it's just that, you know, and I shouldn't say
Time to buy a
that
new one then.
people hate it.
It's-
The
it's-
The
problem
generator.
is that,
It's handicap accessible,
yeah,
it's,
but
it's,
they have to keep the motor on for the entire event for it to be functional.
is that cause
And
it's
so
got air
you have a
conditioning?
noisy motor running throughout the whole event. And people have asked that we just have a simple porta john.
I understand that, but there are also issues, like, to incur additional costs when we have a porta john that we could get for free, and maybe relocate it in a spot where people are not as upset about the motor being on, I think it's something to weigh out.
Yeah, but I mean, when we have events, we're gonna have to get extra ones anyway.
It depends on the size of the event.
We have.
Right,
That's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
pretty much
we
every
have,
time.
That's
definitely.
part of the overall event anyway.
Yeah.
Right,
Well, we haven't for just those, kite nights and things.
Right. for
We've
the
just
small
had-
snow,
But-
But the
Right.
city brings one with two johns on it.
Right, I just wouldn't put it in the circle, I'd probably put it along Duval Street, cone off a
Right.
section of Duval Street, put it over there.
Yep.
Well, but we can't during this period.
Put it in the parking lot.
Oh, all the way over there. I mean, you've got little kids coming to these events. Mothers wanna be able to just get
well, I don't
their-
think the events are the issue, I think it's the leaving the one out every day.
Yeah, I don't know, and then just one other last thing on kiosk A. How deep do you gotta go there, because we do got a certain depth that we have to be concerned
Oh,
about?
we have to dig safe everything, so,
No, it's not dig safe.
oh,
it's
it won't go
the-
beyond the cap, no.
Okay, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
no,
How about the trenching for the wire, same on that, or is that not an issue over there?
that's not an issue over there, it's beyond the AUL.
So do we wanna table the Throne Depot for now, or? I mean, we have a little
Throne
time to
will-
think
the
about it,
throne will
until
not be
for the season,
installed.
you know?
Yeah, I think that there should be some discussion with the city relative to Bicentennial Park and see what else we can do. There's many reasons not to have that out there. and I think we've done a pretty good job.
So many times I had to go to the bathroom, I rushed to my car and got to wherever I had to go to do it, so it's not a major issue without a event going on that I should wanna see a porta john over there.
Yeah, I think if there's one at the park, then at least you know there's a destination you can
Yeah.
move to.
Yeah.
With that aside, I need a motion to authorize the chair to execute all needed contracts for associated work outlined by Karen with the total cumulative costs not to exceed a total of $25,000.
You can take the porta john off, but that's not a lot.
Yeah,
But we're also gonna try to see if the city will pay part of the 12,000
for the wire.
I'm waiting to hear back from
For the
Captain
wiring.
Furtado on that,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
before we spend it, let's see if we
Yeah.
get part of it.
Do you- Well, that will change.
But you're saying not to exceed 25, you can
Right.
go below that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay.
And they have they have a waterways fund and stuff, I mean, the harbor master, they get the boat excise fees, I mean, they get all sorts of revenue.
Yeah, but he
It
doesn't
all
get it, he's
goes
only,
to the general fund and none of it is usable by the harbor master. He has a really limited budget.
Yeah, we're in limited pay too. I heard it was like 2,000 a year or something.
no, that's what the other, he's a police officer,
Yeah.
It's-
yeah, so he gets paid.
it's-
It was what the old harbor master got paid.
Did anybody give me a motion?
Come on. Motion?
A motion to proceed to give the chair up to $25,000 to do all the things Karen has just outlined.
Second.
John Erickson, yes?
Louis Gonzalez, yes.
Joan Maderas, yes.
Ron Rusin, yes.
Ann Keen, yes.
Okay, thank you. Next item, Karen's gonna talk about the closeout, the environmental closeout.
Yeah, this is just a quick update. We AUL at the last meeting, so that was good. They've got all their survey information back. They're finished plotting all of that and making all the figures they need to make, and he's just pulling the document all together, and he's hoping to get that finalized in March. So hopefully by the end of March, we'll be closed out with that, so we'll keep you posted.
Nice. The parking lot agreement. You guys are all familiar with the parking lot, right? The one we've been renting. So, I need a motion to execute a new parking license agreement for 7/1/24 to 6/30/25.
Yeah, so it's the same rate, and it's one more additional year, and we wouldn't need to pay the rent until a month before the start of the lease.
Reclaim my memory, that's 30,000 a year?
Yes,
But wait a minute, that just said starting 7/1,
yeah.
but we have events in June.
Right.
Well, we
but
have
our-
a current, we have an
Yeah, we already
existing
We're going to
lease
7/1,
that
we already
goes
have
through
it.
Okay, that's just what I was
30th,
gonna
yeah,
ask, whether
yeah.
or not we were still under.
Yeah, we have the existing lease till
Contract.
June 30th.
Okay.
He's not gonna be building before then?
No.
Okay.
No, no.
Okay.
He's getting good rent.
So what kind?
Did somebody give me a motion?
Motion moved to
Second.
reinstate the 7/1 lease on a parking lot.
John Erickson, yes?
Louis Gonzalez, yes.
Joan Maderas, yes.
Ron Rusin, yes.
Ann Keen, yes.
Thank you.
And then I didn't know, I put in everybody's packet, just kind of the initial events, schedule of events for the summer. So, it looks like we're going to do the yoga Monday nights at the pier, June and September. July, the if it'll be Monday nights or not, they're working on scheduling their exercise or fun on the pier, and so that would be more information on that. And then, Female in Action are gonna be doing the month of August. So we'll have at least one night a week with, some type of yoga or other, activity out on the pier. Then, We are planning to do the formal grand opening for the docks on June 1st from 12 to 3. We're gonna try to do it as a ribbon cutting, have, all our local elected officials and there, make a big celebration. And then the city's looking at paying for a band to go out and do a concert, and we'll have a few other things out there too. So if anybody wants anyone to get a special invitation to the event, just let me know, give me their contact information, and we're probably gonna get stuff like that out by end of March, beginning of April. And then the rain date is June 8th, in case it's a bad day.
Is that the day we open up the gate, or is it, do we open up in May?
We're probably gonna open up, we were talking to the harbor master about that the other day. I think we're gonna kind of play it by the weather.
Okay.
Obviously, next week's gonna be in the 50s, but boaters don't usually, he said that the boaters typically do let the gangway down at some point in April. So that'll be like the soft kind of opening, but the grand opening will be June 1st. And the other events, the city's gonna do another kite night on June 20th. To sponsor, but Sam has put together, we were thinking about having a dedicated vendor out on the property for certain points in the summer, and it just kind of became complicated with who, what, when, because there's ice cream already at the carousel. And so what we decided to do is do just 3 food truck Friday nights, and 3 trucks will pull up on the given dates of June 28th, July 26th, and August 23rd. And we'll kind of gauge how that goes with the public and see what their need is. Another thing that people have asked for, and I've tried to make some initial outreach but have not had much luck in response, so I just got to continue picking at it, is whether we would put some type of a vending machine for water out there, like water and maybe soda or something. People are saying that, it gets hot, there's, not everybody has a water, it'd be a good thing to have. I don't know where all those ramifications are. The couple of vending companies that I had some initial contact with were like, it's not gonna work. So, I don't know. I'll see if there is any more real requests for that, and if there would be anyone who could supply that type of thing. I don't know, but.
They don't want us to have a plastic straw in a restaurant, but when they put a plastic vending machine right on the water.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the brightest idea.
No, but but the thing is that if we put somebody out there for certain hours, they could be able to have access to water.
Access to water before you
Yeah.
get on, I think, if
Yeah,
you wanted,
yeah, it'll be down that end, yes. So, I'm not sure that would ever come to fruition anyway, because I don't think anybody wants to put a vending machine out there, so.
One more question, Karen, on the food trucks, the names that are on there, they're already established, or?
Yeah, that's who Sam got lined up for us for the food trucks.
Oh, so they've already, so was a bid process, or anybody can just get on there?
So they have like a group that they reach out to.
Yeah.
And they've expanded that group from last year, and that's why we've done 3 different ones on each different night, so it's not the same ones all the time pulling up. So, she said that these ones they've been really responsive, and everybody's liked them, so we can see how it kind of goes.
On these, when we do these, is that when you're saying you're gonna have the porta johns?
For the food truck Fridays, we
Might not need to.
yeah. But for obviously the grand opening, we'll have them.
And so are these people just going out there for free?
Right now, yes.
Yeah, we're not sure that the demand will be there, and they won't know, so.
Food trucks Friday were pretty big at the, are they still doing those food trucks at the gates, or is this?
Yeah, but that's a whole different thing.
Well, is this is complementary to that, or in addition to, or is this in place of?
Oh, no, it's in addition.
Okay.
Karen, do you wanna speak to those? How many of those are happening this year? The ones that. And are event, task force knows and has looked at all the events that are planned by the city,
Okay.
you know, all the different things. So this has been all designed to complement those food truck nights and, you know, the park series in the parks. So that's the beauty of our event committee, is that you've got everybody there saying, oh, you know, these nights are taken, these are the nights you should do it.
Perfect.
So it's only once a month?
Yeah, just
June,
3
July,
Fridays,
and
yeah.
August,
It's 3 Fridays.
And there's no, the Narrows isn't planning anything?
Well, they have a concert, yes,
that's-
That was in here.
on
on
August
here?
20, it's not,
No.
Events
think.
at the pier,
Yeah.
so
yeah, it's August
They're not
28th.
all on there.
Oh, okay, they're not all on
Yeah.
there.
No.
It's August 28th, right? I think, John, I think it's
I
August
think
28th.
so.
Yeah.
And last year, the Narrows really wanted to do their own advertising, they'll create their own marketing
Yeah.
material. We'll put signs out, on the pier property, but they don't really wanna be listed as one of our many events. They wanna be a premier, major concert, and they wanna market it differently.
Well, I don't think it hurts by putting it on the events.
No, it will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have the brewery's not involved in any of the food truck nights, right?
No,
It was only certain events.
right, it will be like for the grand opening.
Okay.
The kickoff to the summer one?
Yeah, the dock grand opening June 1st.
And how do we
So
advertise
we
this?
do
How do we
need
get
to
out to the
some-
public? How will they know
We do
besides
need
the?
to-
So I
Official.
talked to Joe Good today from the Herald, they'll run a, like a press release or an article about it. I'm gonna get it out to the office who does the city social media, she'll put it out there. And, I can probably put something on, at least our page on the website about it. And just kind of go from there, and with the information kiosk, we'll put all the notices in there about it too, so.
Hopefully we have good weather.
Yes,
So we got one big event in August by the Narrows, right?
yep,
You know, the date, what's the
I think it's the
date?
28th. Check that date.
It's Thursday nights. I think St. Andrews to have a concert once
Yeah,
or twice a month.
They have a big concert in Heritage State Park.
But the Narrows is on a Sunday.
It's the
again.
24th.
So are you concerned about the events?
No, I'm just trying to figure out, you know, I thought that we'd have, you know, I thought we might have a little bit more activity there, but maybe that'll occur over time.
It's too early.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you know, I think right now with the
Yeah.
construction and everything's probably, you know, I think this is a good package of events.
Good.
Karen, do you want to talk about the Northern Spit?
Yeah, there's not too much of an update. We did definitely get the award from the Seaport Council for the $396,000 to work on the planning for improvements over there. And we've signed the initial paperwork's all gone in with them for that. And I'm working on a scope of work so we can get some pricing from some engineers. There's at least 3 of them that are interested in working with us on it, so. Hopefully I'll have some more concrete.
The gentleman from the coastal management?
Oh, coastal zone management,
who,
yes.
like, was very helpful and offered to help us with whatever, and he had some good information about what we might have to do or might not have to do in terms of
Yeah.
the riprap and because he's pretty tuned into all that, so he was very helpful.
Yeah, and I talked to Doug Cameron from the State Fishery and Wildlife. Their grant programs are pretty much tied up for the next 5 years, so we couldn't really apply for any grants from them for like the fishing pier, or fishing spot that we want to develop out there. But he would definitely be available to help us with technical assistance, so that's good. but that's still a little ways down the road, so, but I will, hopefully have some more info at the next meeting for you.
Next item is Pleasant Street, Flint
Mhm.
Street, Flint, neighborhood.
You know, before I move to that, porta potty moving, trailer that the city has brought. But it has been a concern about how loud it was. But it's been great in lots of ways. So I didn't want to be disparaging it because, the city's gone way out of their way to bring it, and we've really appreciated it. And we just thought a simple porta potty would be easier, because it takes up a lot of space, and people have to bring it, and they have to staff it, and it's just more complicated than having a porta potty. But I didn't want to be criticizing that amazing resource that we appreciated. So, moving on to Pleasant. Are soon getting all of our documents. It's gonna be a pile like this. It's our urban renewal plan, our roadmap, an appendix for existing conditions. That was a huge analysis done in the beginning of our project. A big appendix on the survey. We had 500 survey responses, so you can go through all the answers. There's a summary of what it all ended up teaching us, but there's also a large piece of information there. So we're doing some final reviews of the 2 key documents. I think we're gonna be done this week. The housing in livable communities. We're also working through the whole MEPA review process. And we talked with Paul Furland, the head of the Water and Sewer Department, because the engineering firm we're working with, who's working on all this MEPA process, said that we had to, by MEPA regulations, take one project and analyze it completely for, is it green, how many years is it going to be functional, and will it foresee climate change impacts on the neighborhood. And so we had picked, or they had picked Stafford Square, which is where there's a $2 million grant funding an engineering firm to do an amazing design to deal with stormwater that is an issue on streets above Stafford Square and ends up with serious flooding in major rainfall. So, our engineers had done this whole analysis on a MEPA form and on this whole process. Engineers designing this whole project. So Paul said, you really should send it to our engineers. So we sent it to them, and came up with a much better score for us. I guess it was a negative score, and now it's a positive score, and they just added a lot of information about account. And so now they asked me to send them all the planning documents, and they're going to look through those and make sure that and I kind of gave them a list of where all of the flooding and stormwater items came up through the documents. And so they're going to look through those and see if they have any more comments. But it was great that Paul connected us to that engineering firm. And so as we're things happening, Mike Dion has used ARPA funds to get some storefronts, some really impressive storefront improvements designed. He's put them out to bid, and they're going to go to construction very soon. So the Pleasant Street corridor that really needed help to upgrade their storefronts. So that's in process. We've, over the last week, had a couple of developers contact us about buildings they're interested in on Pleasant Street. So I think the next, piece we would love to see is some developers actually buying some of the properties on Pleasant Street. But that seems to be the problem. People who buy the buildings on Pleasant Street often don't have the capacity to really carry through. So we're movement on that front. Representative Schmidt calls me or bumps into me periodically and talks with me about Alden Street. Alden Street is where some of the mills have been redone for two for senior living, and there's a couple that are market rate and another market rate building that's expected to bring 220 units to the heart of the Alden. In a lot of our public meetings and survey responses, people are very concerned about how difficult it is to traverse and the street needs to be redone. And so Dan, the city engineer, has said the city was really prioritizing redeveloping Alden Street. To put new utilities in before you want to redo the street. And so that's something that Representative Schmidt wants to look into, and we're keeping on the radar screen with the city. And so I was talking with him about, are there just low-hanging fruit that we can deal with in the short term? And so he was talking about a lot that he wants the city to clean up. There may be, we can talk with the building department and ask them to cite the owner of one of the properties that try to just get some things shored up and improved along Alden Street while we're looking at these much bigger, more important projects.
Route 79?
So we being Ken, Dan, Johnny, Karen, and I meet every 2 weeks with our consulting firm Stantec, and they today had 7 of their consultants on a Zoom call with us, and that's pretty typical. They're bringing in different, we have a whole team of different experts. So today we had the hotel experts give us an analysis, and this is the package of material that we got this week. So we got a housing needs assessment and market study, an assessment of hotel a competitive hotel market analysis, and we also got, a retail and office market study. And the good news from this was, that they really of units along this development, and they think the
Well-
rents that can be charged are significant.
These are all drafts.
Yeah, they're all drafts.
So I don't think we
Right.
should be really getting too far along on the findings of drafts. They need to be further.
Yeah,
When is this due by? End of August, okay.
Okay.
right.
So we're very.
So we have plenty of
Yeah.
time,
Yeah,
it's
there's
very
a lot of,
preliminary,
Yeah.
but at least this preliminary drafts were encouraging on some levels. So the consultants are going to go back, and they got a lot of feedback from us. They're going to go back and rework their, numbers, do more analysis. They feel they have their analysis, really fully developed, then they'll start bringing that together with the rest of the team to look at what does that then, mean for the development and where buildings go and size and all of that. So,
Sarah, do you want to talk about 231 Commerce Drive?
yes. So, so it turns out that, this is the, project where, Gold Medal Bakery is buying this, parcel with a large facility on it that they plan to, redevelop for a large bakery operation. And we're selling, or expect to sell 191 Commerce next door, that, land that we talked with you about at our last meeting. And, the attorneys found, as they were working on the closing for 231, that was sold to Atlantic Lighting by the redevelopment, industrial park was developed. It was found that, they never asked the redevelopment authority for a certificate of completion that would need to say that they built the property in line with the land disposition agreement and consistent with the urban renewal plan. To, look at that, and he sent a two-sentence, email to us that we passed as they were expected to. So we would like you to approve, the chair signing this certificate of completion, which is critical for them to go ahead and buy the property.
Yeah, so I need a motion to approve the chair to execute a certificate of completion for the property at 231 Commerce Drive.
Yes.
Ron Rusin, yes.
Dan King, yes.
Thank you. Chair makes a finding that an open session would have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body. The purpose of the executive session is to approve the executive session minutes from January 24th, 24, and discuss strategy with respect to potential real estate transactions for property located at Assessor Map 22, Lot 9 on Duval Street and at 191 Commerce Drive. We're going to do a roll call to enter into executive session and not return to open session.
Motion.
Need a motion. Go into, to go into executive session and
Okay.
not return to open session.
Okay. Motion to go in executive session
And not return.
And not.
and not return.
Second,
Second.
John Erickson, yes.
Louis Donovan, yes.
Joan Maderas, yes.
Ron Rusin, yes.
Dan King, yes.
Thank you.